Hello everyone, welcome back to eDoor to the World. I am your host Raymond. It's always a pleasure to have you with us as we explore new ideas and learn more about the world around us.
Yes, hello listeners, I'm Fika and I'm just as excited to be here with you today. So every time we come together, Raymond, we open the door to something meaningful and discover how the world is changing in interesting ways.
Now let's try something a little different today. I want you to imagine something for a moment.
Yes, let's take a moment and picture this clearly in our minds.
You are standing in the middle of a busy city, cars passing, people rushing, tall buildings everywhere. It's loud, crowded, and full of movement.
And then just a few steps away, you walk into a quiet park full of trees, fresh air, birds, and open space.
It almost feels like you have entered a completely different world.
Exactly. Calm, peaceful, and connected to nature.
But here is something I have been wondering. How do these green spaces even exist in the middle of all that concrete?
You know what? That's a great question, Raymond. And today we are going to explore exactly that.
So we are not just talking about parks. We are talking about how they are created.
Created, exactly. So some of these green spaces were not always green. In fact, some of them used to be landfills filled with waste.
That's hard to imagine, right? From garbage to gardens.
Exactly. And that transformation is what makes today's topic so powerful.
Now, I'm really interested because when I see a park, I just think of a place to relax, not a place that used to be damaged.
Yes, and that's why today the discussion matters. We are going to explore how cities bring nature back, why green spaces are so important, and what challenges people face when restoring them.
So today we are opening the door to something hidden in plain sight, how nature grows and survives in our cities.
Absolutely, Raymond. And by the end of this episode, you might never look at a park the same way again.
So Fika, let's start from the beginning. Why are green spaces so important in cities?
Good question again. Green spaces are important because they help keep cities healthy. For example, trees clean the air by taking in harmful gases and releasing oxygen.
So when we walk in a park, the air is actually cleaner?
Yes, that's right. That's why people often feel more relaxed and refreshed in parks.
Yes, I've noticed that. It feels easier to breathe, right?
Yes. Green spaces also help control temperature. Cities with lots of buildings and roads become very hot, but trees provide shade and cool the area.
So without trees, cities will feel even hotter.
Exactly. Another important role is water control. So when it rains, plants and soil absorb water, which helps prevent flooding.
That's right. Parks also protecting cities from floods.
Absolutely. And they support wildlife. Birds, insects, and small animals all depend on these spaces.
Okay, so a park is not just for people, it's for home for many living things, right?
Yes, and that's why we call it an ecosystem. And we've spoken about this before, because everything works together.
Okay, so the more we talk about this, the more I realize how important parks really are.
And that's the goal. Understanding leads to caring.
Okay, Fika, now I am really curious. How do you turn a landfill into a park?
Okay, Raymond, let's look at Shirley Chisholm State Park that is mentioned in the article, right? Mm-hmm. So it used to be full of garbage.
So step one must be cleaning. Right?
Yes, but it's more than just cleaning it up. First, the waste is sealed using special materials to stop harmful gases and liquids from escaping.
Okay, so it becomes safe for people and nature.
Exactly. Then workers add clean soil, sometimes a very large amount.
Okay, like covering the paths with something new.
That's a nice way to say it. After that, they plant trees, grasses, and other plants.
Okay, and over time, it becomes a real ecosystem again.
Yes, it does. Animals return, plants grow, and people can use the space.
That must feel very rewarding, right, to build a park.
It does, and it shows that even damaged land can be restored with effort and planning.
Okay, that sounds amazing, but I'm guessing it's not always easy to do.
You are right, Raymond. Yeah. There are many challenges that come with that. One big problem is invasive species.
That's right. Plants that don't belong there, right?
Yes. So what happens is they grow quickly and take over, stopping local plants from growing.
Mm-hmm. They make it harder for the ecosystem to recover.
Very true. And also another challenge is poor soil. Landfill soil is not rich in nutrients.
That means plants struggle to grow strong roots.
Yes, and there are also pests like insects that damage trees.
And animals like deer?
Yes, deer can eat young plants, which slows down restoration.
Okay, so it's a constant effort.
Definitely. Restoration takes years, not days.
Right. So Fika, the more we talk about this, the more I realize this is not just about parks. So why should everyone, not just scientists, care about green spaces?
Oh my God, that is a very, very important question, Raymond. You know, green spaces affect our everyday lives in ways we don't always notice, right? So for example, trees help clean the air we breathe.
So even if I'm just walking to school or work, trees are already helping me?
Exactly. Trees remove pollution from the air and it gives us oxygen. So this helps reduce health problems like breathing difficulties.
That's something many people don't think about.
Yes, another example is water. Trees and plants help filter water and keep it clean before it reaches rivers and lakes.
So if parks are not healthy, water quality can also become worse and worse.
That's right. And green spaces also reduce noise in cities. Plants and trees can block or absorb sound.
That means they make cities quieter too. That's interesting.
Yes, they also help people mentally. Being in nature can reduce stress, improve your mood, and help people feel a bit calmer.
True, because I feel that before, when I am in a park, I feel more relaxed than when I am in a traffic.
Agreed. After COVID-19, Raymond, many people realized how important parks are for your mental and physical health.
So green spaces are helping our bodies, our minds, and the environment.
Very true. And they also bring communities together. Families, friends, and neighbors can meet, exercise, and spend time together in these spaces.
It's just not about nature. It's about people connecting with each other.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. So healthy green spaces, they mean healthier communities.
All right, Fika, now it's our turn. What can students actually do in real life, not just in theory?
A great question, Raymond, again. Let's look at a clear, simple action students can start today.
I'm ready. Let's make this practical.
Okay, first, do not litter, okay? When you visit a park or even your schoolyard, always throw trash in the bin.
Okay, what about if there is no bin?
Good question again. Keep your trash with you until you find one. Second, pick up your litter. If you see trash on the ground, you can help clean it.
Even it's not mine?
Yes. Remember, small actions like this make a big difference. Third, plant something. It can be a tree, a flower, or even a small plant at home.
Even a small plant counts?
Absolutely. Plants help clean air and support life. Fourth, protect plants. Don't step on grass, break branches, or damage plants.
I've seen people walk over plants like it doesn't matter.
I've also seen people do that, but it does not matter. Plants take time to grow.
That's true.
Yes. Save water. When watering plants, don't waste water. Use only what is needed.
So even water use connects to protecting nature.
Exactly. Right, the sixth one. Join cleanup activities. Many schools and communities organize cleanup days.
Okay, so that sounds like teamwork in action.
Yes, and it's also fun and meaningful. Right, let's move on to the seventh one. Teach others. Share what you learn with your family and friends.
We don't just act, we also spread awareness.
Exactly. When more people understand, more people care.
I do like this. Thank you, Fika. These are simple, but when people do them, they create big change.
And that's the key, Raymond. Small actions, big impact.
All right, Fika. Time to go our vocabularies for today. I am ready.
Great, Raymond. Let's start with our very first word, ecosystem.
生态系统. That sounds like a big word.
It's simple. An ecosystem is a place where living things like plants, animals, and people interact with each other.
So a park is an ecosystem.
Exactly. Right? So here's a sentence. A park is an ecosystem where plants and animals live together. Right. Next word, restoration.
恢复. That means fixes something, right?
Yes, restoration means bringing something damaged back to life.
Okay, what about for the sentence?
Right. Restoration helps turn damaged land into green spaces again. Last word, invasive species.
外来种. This one sounds tricky.
Well, it means plants or animals that do not belong in an area and cause problems.
That's right, and they're usually taking over the local ecosystem.
Exactly. Here's the sentence. Invasive species grow quickly and harm local plants.
I like this part because it helps students and people understand the topic better.
Let's make it interactive. Listeners, try this. Can you make your own sentence using one of those words?
Okay, that is a challenge. Try it at home or in class.
Yes, that's how you learn and remember.
Okay, remember students, you can visit different platforms like Facebook or our websites to answer today's question and stand a chance to win amazing prizes.
All right, go ahead, Raymond.
So here is the question for today. If you could design your own park, what would it look like?
Right, that's a good question, by the way. Now, let's help you think about it. Would your park have big trees for shade, flowers for insects like bees and butterflies, a playground for children, or a quiet space for reading or relaxing?
Or maybe even a small garden where people can grow food.
That's a great idea. Think about how your park can help both people and nature.
That's right, and explain why you choose those features.
We would love to hear your creative ideas.
That's right, and that is it for today's episode. We have learned how cities can bring nature back and why green spaces are so important.
Yes, and remember, protecting nature is not just for experts, it's something we can all do in our daily lives.
And don't forget today's questions. If you could design your own park, what would it look like?
Think about what you would include and why. Trees, flowers, animals, or spaces for people to relax and play.
That's right, and we are really excited to hear your ideas, so make sure you share with us.
Right, stay curious, stay responsible, and keep making the world a greener and a better place.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you on the next episode.
See you.
This program is sponsored and brought to you by Ajayan, ETRC Ajayan.